Hello and welcome to my budgeting series where I share with you my journey to save as much money as possible. Now, I am currently using the cash clip system to do that, and my situation is that I am a volunteer slash student. I live in the place where I volunteer, so I have all my basic needs met. So somewhere to sleep, food to eat, I have health insurance, and just all those things are covered. And then each month I get $225 for any extra costs I might have if I need new clothing, if I want to go out to eat, if I want to go on a little trip somewhere, if I want to buy a nice book to read or get a cup of tea. That's what that money is for. Now, I am working with a very small budget, and I've decided to only spend $25 each month and save the other $200 so that one day I can go travel the world. Now, I have 3 different categories I'm working with. Actually, if you want to know what the cash clip system is, you can go back and watch my previous video I did on it, but I think if you just keep watching this, you'll probably get what it is anyway. But essentially, I have 3 categories and they are color coordinated. So I have my gold clip is my food category, my copper clip is my things category, and my silver clip here is my experiences category. And the way I have set out my $25 is that I have $15 in my food category, $5 in my things category, and $5 in my experiences category. Now, if you watched last month's video, you would have remembered, or maybe you totally forgot even if you had watched the video, that I saved $12 from my food category because I just didn't get food that month. And yeah, I kind of posed it to you what I should do with that money. Do you put it back into savings? Do you just bulk up that category? How do you work with it? And I got quite a lot of different answers, and I appreciate it so much that I have people who can support and guide me through this, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But I kind of came to the thought that because I'm working with such a tiny budget, any money that I have left over that I'm able to save each month, I'm just going to put it aside, and I can use it to bulk up any category at any time. So if I suddenly have an opportunity to do something, which I did this month, and I'll talk about that, I can use the money I saved from the month before to do that. So without further ado, I will talk about the money I spent in November and filling up my clips for December. And this month was kind of interesting because we had Thanksgiving and it was also my birthday, so I have a few extra things to talk about and not just the $25. So on the 12th of November, I went with my partner to get Indian food, and when we got to the restaurant, a bunch of our friends arrived at the same time, so we all sat down together and had a yummy Indian feast, and that cost me $15, so that was all of my food money gone for the month. And then on the 16th of November, or I think maybe it was the 15th of November, me and my partner drove down to New York City to watch a gig in the city. It was like a piano player. I don't know, my partner's really into music, and it was really lovely, and we went and saw that, and we had dinner. Well, he had dinner and I picked at his fries because I wasn't super hungry. So the way I paid for that experience, which was $17 all up, is that I used the $12, like I was saying before, that I saved from October to pay for this. So I used $12 from my October savings, or what I saved from October, and then I used $5 from my experience category. So you can see my experience category clip is now all empty. So that's how I paid for that. Now, I also obviously emptied my gold food category by eating out in the Indian place, and then the only thing I had left was $5 from my things category. Now, it was Thanksgiving, and the way this community does it is that each Thanksgiving everyone gets like 4 days off, and you get $150 to just go on a little vacation. And what I did, because obviously I knew I wanted to save some of the money, the $150, so I knew I was going to only use $100 all up. And I was like, how am I going to afford a vacation for 4 days on $100? So what I did is I asked all my friends if they had someone in the city who had a place that I could stay at, and or if they wanted house sitting and things like that. And so then I found someone who was like a friend of a friend of a friend who had a dog, and they were going away for Thanksgiving, so they asked for me to house sit and look after the dog. So I found free accommodation in New York City, and then to catch the train down there, I work in a community that has people with, oh, I volunteer in a community with people with developmental differences, and there was a woman who wanted to go down to the city to see her family, so I accompanied her on the train. And sort of the way it works is when you accompany someone, they essentially pay for your ticket because you're providing support for them, and then they sort of, you know, help with the cost of the ticket. So I got free transport and a free place to stay, which was awesome. So if you hustle and you ask people and you ask, there's always someone who knows someone who knows someone. There's always a way to do it without spending a ridiculous amount of money. So with that said, I had $100 when I got to the city, and I did pretty good for the first couple of days because the person who I stayed with said that I could have any, like I could eat the food in the house and things like that. So I pretty much cooked all my meals at the house. They had lots of staples and things like that, and I also brought down some fresh produce with me, which was kind of strange. I was walking through New York City with a bag of like lemons, and I had like green beans and a few things like that to cook with. So yeah, when I got to the city, I kind of cooked most of my own food, but I knew while I was there I wanted to get some jeans because I don't have any. Well, I have one pair, but they've completely ripped now, and it is winter, so I needed some new ones. So I went to a second-hand store and I found 2 pairs of jeans, a blue pair for $7.49 and a black pair for $10.99, which I was really happy about. And then I also found myself a nice book to read while I was on vacation. It's always good to have a book, and I got the book about hygge, well, I don't know how to say that properly, but the Danish art of content and comfort and connection. I really liked it. I read it in a couple of days, and it was really, yeah, really nice book. Completely recommend. So then I needed a new book to read, so I went shopping again, and I got this one. I don't know how to say that word. It's The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. So I read one on how the Danish people like to do it, and then I am currently reading one on how the Japanese people like to live a happy life. So I got that book. So sorry, I didn't say the prices. So this book was $11.98, and this book was $19.44. So I spent a lot of my money on books while I was on vacation. And then I did eat out once, and I got a burger for $16.15. So out of my $100 that I budgeted myself for my Thanksgiving trip, I spent $66.05, which means I saved $33.95, which was really good. And I had such a wonderful time while I was there. I walked everywhere because I obviously was trying to save money. And yeah, even though it was like from where I was staying in Brooklyn, I was staying in a place called Park Slope, I would walk all the way into the city, and it did take 2 hours or 2.5 hours sometimes, but there is so much to see in the city. It was such beautiful days, and I just really loved it. And I was also house sitting a dog, so we would go to the park and literally just walk for 2 or 3 hours, and it is just, there's so much to see, and I love walking, so it was just also another great way to save a lot of money. So that was my Thanksgiving money. I also had a birthday, so I got given a little bit of money. Now, I'm not going to go into details with that, but essentially my grandma gave me a bit of money for my birthday, and I bought some things online, and I shared the things that I bought in my haul alternative video that I just posted, which I can link for you. Now, I am going to do the same thing for, what is it? The same thing for December as I did for November. So this is the, by the way, this is the $33.95 that I saved from my trip to the city. And instead of just, I don't know, putting it all back in the bag, I'm just going to take out the $25 that I'm going to use for this month, and then the rest will go back in the bank. So I will have, yeah, fill up my clips. So I'm going to fill up my clips. So my clips are all full, and I have my categories ready to go for December. $15 in my food, $5 in my things, $5 in my experience, and then with the extra $5 that I have left over from my things category from this month, I'm just going to put in my special multicolored clip, and that is going to be for anything, yeah, any of these categories. If for some reason I have something coming up and I need a little extra money, that is what that's going to be for. So you can see all my clips are full, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the system so far. Please let me know, yeah, if you've tried this, if you know anything about budgeting, if you have other budgeting systems to suggest, leave all of that good stuff in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you next time. Bye!